System error. Alignment unknown.
Okay, so as you come to the door, you start to notice that the sun is just starting to rise, but there's still a fair amount of darkness, so you can just about make out the outline of the dog and the small creature going into the bazaar.
Right, no worries.
I call up to Rinwen and okay.
I'm coming.
Yeah, great. I kind of like half panicking. Well, blacksmith's in charge now. Okay, I guess.
I would say that doesn't matter right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I've not seen a. Well, no, you have, but I've not seen a.
Dead person.
Okay. Right. And I just run towards the door.
Can I just suggest before you do that, is there a better way of leaving this building?
He's just going to the bazaar, so if
And
we're going to leave the place now, we need to go now.
First off, I'm going to go help out Dragonborn. So, bye.
What? Why?
Because I'm not letting more people.
Oh, you're really boring, but also this is really fun. Okay.
Kirsty, just a quick check. What's your alignment?
Chaotic good.
So why are you getting really uppity about people trying to help people when you're a good character?
I'm a good character, but also I need to get him out.
Yeah, that's true, but, you know, I'm going to let people die. That's not good, that's neutral. Anyway, so, as you are all having this discussion, you start to hear shouting from the bazaar across the way. It's quite loud shouting at this point. You can hear the Dragonborn saying something about they came in here and then they left.
I run out.
Cool, so you charge out into the area. You running straight into the bazaar? Because I'm lazy.
Yes.
Because I'm lazy, I'm going to use this room as the bazaar. So you charge back over to the charge back over to the bazaar, where there is this kind of like, it was a bit like that, where there's a counter here. There's a couple of things just dotted around on the floor.
I do yell them to follow.
Okay, so you hear Brandis shout, we need to make a move. Okay, so for the purposes of this, that will be the Dragonborn, that will be the short guy, that will be the dog. And that is all you need to know so far. So are you charging into the room? Are you running straight into the building? Or are you...
I'm going to wait just outside for them to
So
at least get somewhat near.
You can see that as you basically all charge. You're quite with the speed that you've all got. I think you're all 30.
Yeah.
You're all managing to keep in line with each other. You charge the door. You can see through the windows of this building, because there's quite a bit of light in the building. That there is essentially the dog is kind of keeping guard and growling at this Dragonborn as this short creature now with the hood down. You can see a goblin's head kind of holding the scruff of this guy's robes, just going, "I want to know what's going on." Essentially, here shouting through the room.
So can I tell he's a goblin from where I am? Sorry.
Yeah, you can see it's an obvious goblin. Could you make an intelligence check quickly?
Oh. Intelligence check. Yeah, that is a 5.
You recognise the face, you're not sure from where.
Cool. Can I go into stealth mode and sort of hide on the other side of the door?
Yeah, make a stealth check whilst you're there. So you're currently hiding just on the edge of the door.
That is 15?
15,
yeah.
lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, because 2 8s are 16. So
Yep.
yeah, that's 15.
Yep. What are the rest of you doing?
Kind of getting a bit, like, looking at this going, he's the only person who's directly helped me.
Yeah.
Kind of getting...
So you're currently running, you're out the door at this point.
I am...
What are you doing?
Angerful. I'm going to just barge in and shout in Goblin, just like, get the hell off him.
Cool.
In Gobble.
Lovely. I'd like you all to roll initiative from that bit.
20. Oh no, sorry. 19. I got excited then.
19.
Oh!
18.
So I
10
go first
seconds.
because of dexterity.
Brandis was
18.
18. Rinwen.
19.
19. And punch.
19.
19. So Rinwen will go first. You two.
So you've already run in it.
Yeah, I've just got in.
So you've jumped in there, yeah. Right. We start with the top of the round as you charge in, and everyone's kind of like working out what's going. The dog essentially starts the round. Let me get some fat music. Fight music.
Wolves
Oh!
in disguise.
So, we start at the top of the round with the dog. He essentially, seeing you charge in, is going to barrel up beside you and is going to try and bite you. There's 5, 10, 15 there. That's 8 to hit.
Miss.
Lovely. That's the dog. That brings us to Rinwen. So
right.
you see through the door, you can see essentially this kind of lithe, kind of brownish dog. Looks a bit like Scooby-Doo, but a bit distorted almost. Just runs up beside Brandis and tries to bite him, but he just lunges out of the way.
Can I run in?
Yeah?
Will there be a space?
Yeah, that's just to show you where the door
okay.
is, sorry.
30. I'll go there.
That's not
me.
you.
Oh, no, sorry. Alright, there we go.
So you run in, taking the small space between the dog and Brandis and the wall. You just rush down the side of the wall, running into the space. You can see this goblin creature and the dragonborn there, kind of panicking.
I am going to cast. Yeah, I'm going to cast Chill Touch on the dog.
Cool. Go for it.
Rage spell attack. Probably not. So that's 40.
Just hits.
Thank God. D8. Oh, sweet. So you take. The dog takes 8 necrotic damage and it can't regain hit points till the start of my next turn.
Lovely. So you, gesturing your hand, this kind of weird ice-like hand just appears out of nowhere, grasps around the shoulder of the dog and just clenches. And it kind of sits remaining there for the next few seconds. Anything else for you?
Is it an undead dog, just so...
Make a nature check.
Oh, okay.
Make a nature check.
No. 10.
You recognise that it's not undead, but you know there's something weird to it.
Okay.
You know it's not a normal dog.
Right, that's fine.
That brings us to Punch.
I'm going to slide in to here.
Okay, so you sneak in around the way.
I'm going to have a go at it with my short sword.
Okay, so you sneak in, lunging up inside the door at the dog. Roll for attack.
10.
10, you sling through, and there's a moment where the dog seems to blur, and then you the sword passes through, and then it kind of becomes opaque and solid again.
The fuck?
Anything else for you?
Fucking magic dog.
No, because I don't get sneak attack on that, do I?
No.
No, that's fine. Yep, I will just stay there.
Lovely, that brings us to Brandis.
I'm gonna, due to anger, just kind of like, it's like pointing at the goblin,
Yep,
kind of half knowing and not knowing from what I've read, do firebolt.
go for it. Roll a ranged spell attack.
19 to hit.
19 hits, roll for damage.
Ooh! Get you!
1d10. Oh, is he wearing any armor, metal armor at all?
He is. He is wearing. He's wearing a chain shirt. That
That's
you can
fine, because that doesn't affect the spell at all. That's 10 damage.
Oof, lovely. So you just kind of raise your hand, not really knowing what you're doing. You do this small gesture with your hand, and just a bolt of flame flies across and smacks him square in the side. He kind of almost falls back on his side, but manages to gain his balance. Anything else for you?
I'm just going to go... Huh. That's, Right.
That brings us to the gnome, who is going to turn, see you punch, and just go, you're meant to be dead! And starts charging forward. That is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to you, Brandis, and is going to swing his scimitar at you. That first attack.
Does the Dragonborn get attack opportunity?
He is not actually working on that scale. He's kind of terrified at this
That's
point.
fine.
He's more of a civilian than he is an actual person. I mean, he wouldn't have hit anyway. That first one doesn't hit with a natural 2. The second swing, however, as he swings through with his scimitar again, that's not going to hit. That's 11.
No, it misses.
Lovely. So he swings both times, just kind of in a complete rage, trying to swing through at you, trying to hit you, but managed to dodge out the way of the 2 swings. That brings us back to the top of the round, where essentially the Dragonborn kind of brings himself to and just starts going, Dizzy! And that brings us to the dog. The dog is going to, seeing his master try to attack you, try to bite you, Brandis. Mm-hmm. That's a natural 2. I need to stop using that die.
No, keep using it.
Brings us back to Rinwen.
Alright. I am going to... Again, I'm going to use Chill Touch on the...
Dog.
Lovely.
Roll attack again.
Yeah. That again is a 14.
Hits. Roll for damage.
Not as good. 3 of the necrotics.
3 necrotic, lovely. So again, the hand, rather than as it slowly starts to disappear, you just kind of re-clench your fist and it just reinvigorates and kind of shimmers blue again. And that brings us to Punch.
I'm going to take a slice at the dog again.
Yep, go for it. Roll for attack.
That's a bit better. That's unnatural 20.
Hits. Roll for damage.
Awesome.
So swinging through with a short sword, just completely careering across him.
6 slashing.
6 slashing.
And then another 3 sneak attack.
3 sneak attack. Lovely. That completely wipes out the dog. The dog just kind of starts to fizzle again. It does that kind of weird shaking thing and then just blinks out of existence.
Can I move?
You can indeed.
5.
Sorry, I did take that away from you. Did you want to move as well, Rinwen? Did you want to move when you were in your turn?
No,
that's fine.
Fine.
So you seeing the dog disappear, you run around the side of this goblin, not really caring what's going on, knowing that natural skills and reflexes are coming in. You just notice if I'm behind that guy, I can do more damage. That brings us to Brandis.
I'll just do like exactly the same again, as if like a funny I can do this.
You're making a ranged spell attack at him with disadvantage because it's range. He's in melee attack.
Is it not balanced out because I'd be...
you don't get advantage.
It's worth a go, isn't it?
No, it's a good question.
That's 12 to hit.
12. Unfortunately, this time he just as he throws, you see this kind of small kind of metal thing on his arm. It's actually a shield. It just bounces off as he flicks it and it ricochets across onto the wall. Anything else for you?
No.
Lovely. At this point, you hear just the as the wall in the back just smashes open, and this 6-foot weird kind of humanoid, no, he's not that big, weird humanoid just charges through the room. This weird kind of like, looks humanoid, but looks almost like a small giant. It's like the mix between a furbolg and a human. He has this massive 2-handed axe in his hands as he just charges in. That's 30 speed, he's used 10 to get in. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then dashes 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. That puts him there. That brings us to the goblin, who is going to panic, turns around to you, Punch, and goes, well, if I'm going to die, I'm taking you out with me. That first attack is 18 plus 4, 22 to hit.
Yeah.
Lovely. You take 5 slashing damage from the first swing as he swings again for you. That's a natural 1. He swings the blade, it just goes flying and careering across the floor, just missing you by inches, Rinwen. He just kind of starts panicking, looking up at you, going, I can explain. That brings us back to the top of the round with Rinwen.
I am going to run in. And can I try and like grab him?
Yeah. Make
the
a
worst
strength.
ever.
Make a strength check, an athletics check. Sorry, and you would have advantage because he's being flanked by someone.
Wow. Rolled a 12 and an 11.
Okay.
Sorry, was that
an athletics check.
Oh crap. So that would be an 11 because I have
11.
a -1.
Lovely. He rolled a natural 1, so you managed to just as the sword scrambles across the ground, and he looks up and just panics. You just quickly grab him around the neck and just grapple him for a second. He doesn't seem to be fighting that much as he just kind of panics, realising that his dog is gone. That brings us to Punch, as we're technically still in combat.
Yep, with advantage.
You'd have advantage if you try and attack him, yeah.
14, 16. Okey-dokey, so that is 19 to hit.
Yeah, hits, roll damage.
Awesome. So that is 3 slashing plus 6 sneak attack.
Okay, so that's 9 altogether. Slink, done. Anything else for you?
Can I hiss in his face?
Yeah, you just kind
Thank
of getting quite angry, just getting a bit more guttural and kind of old school intimidation, just hissing in his face. That brings us to Brandis.
Cool. Now that he's grappled, can I go to him again in Goblin to say, okay, stop.
He's kind of...
we will let this big robot thing, which we knew about, slam you. Charles like, yeah, I'm... Oh,
Make
tough man.
an intimidation check with advantage. I'm going to say that for the purposes of this, you're at
17.
17. He just kind of looks up at this kind of... And now it's quite close. You can see that although it is a humanoid and it is wearing chainmail, it is also a very kind of... it's made of wood and metal. It seems to be almost like a construct type thing, but it looks almost humanoid in its design. Its face has got this very weird chiseled metal beard that's been placed in, and also for some reason a cowboy hat that is just sat on its head that is also metal and not actually liftable. It's part of the dome.
Does he eat cow pies? Is he Desperate Dan?
No, he's not. I'm doing another reference if you picked up the name, but you know.
I mean, it is quite dandy.
Anyway, so he what did you say to him in Goblin? Sorry.
Okay, just stop. Or we'll let the big robot thing do its job.
He just kind of turns to you. I'll behave. Yeah.
Yeah, I continue with Goblin. It's fine. Okay, so I'm a rational and reasonable man.
Right.
What's going on?
And
And remember, tell the truth. And also, did you, by any chance, slightly kill the guy in charge of the tavern?
yes. You see, I've been sent by the Hand to deal with you three.
Are you saying that in common or Goblin?
Saying in Goblin. So only anyone who can't understand Goblin.
Don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, you're just hearing these kind of like guttural kind of clicks and gurgles as he speaks.
Can I try and remember his face while they're chatting?
Yeah, make an intelligence check again.
For fuck's sake.
This time with advantage because you're rolling as well. Because you know.
Oh, that's better. Yeah, that is 18.
You understand. You hear the Hand because it's not an actual thing that is Goblin. You just hear the Hand mentioned, and you know that the Hand was the sect of the Thieves Guild that you were involved with. And then you remember his face. This is Galbrook. He's one of the kind of henchmen of one of the lower rungs of the Hand's organisation. And then you realise that that dog was Blinks, his Blink dog. That is essentially a small fey creature, or a medium fey creature, that essentially can teleport at will. And Galbrook is normally sent on fetch quests and cleanups, which most people don't normally like. He seems to be put in where most people don't want to go. He says to you in Goblin, he's been told that you've just heard that he's been sent by the Hand to clear you three up.
I just go to him. Okay, you're going to very quickly and precisely explain what you mean by clear us up.
Well, you see, she pointing at Punch. She seems to have left without paying her dues. She seems to think she can leave the Hand through nefarious means. And as much as we enjoy nefarious things at the Hand, not really something that we like having done to us. And the boss isn't happy, and he wanted her dead. Anything else I can do for you? You guys were just collateral, and I was told to clean up whatever was there. You have killed my dog, in fairness. That's not something that... Please don't kill me. I'm just trying to pay for my wife. She's got 2 sprogs, and she doesn't know about the other wife, and I'm trying to make a way in this world.
Can I slide a dagger around his neck, please?
So he's currently got Rinwen's arm around his neck. So
Okay. Can I slide it next to his cheek, please?
yeah, you just kind of place the blade on his cheek.
What's he saying?
I think you two need to have a fun chat. I'm going to let justice do its course, and I know how I like justice being done. However, I'm not the one in charge around here, like, unfortunately. And I back away. The adrenaline hits me and just go, oh God.
So you have a blade to his cheek, and he looks up at you, and the fear kind of drains out of his face. And he just looks up at you with his cocky grin, and like, why would I be scared of a turncoat in common?
What do you mean a turncoat? Do you guys know each other?
Oh, little Punchy here. She's right good at sneaking into little buildings and getting little trinkets, aren't you, Punchy?
I'm out now. I'm not going back.
Oh, say it ain't so.
I'm going to have to kill you.
What's your AC?
It's 14.
He has disadvantage because he's grappled. You feel the scimitar just hit you in the side as he raises it up in a weird kind of angle. You take 5 slashing damage as he just careers it up.
I am unconscious.
So he just kind of swinging and not really knowing what he's doing, just kind of brings the blade up and catches you quite well in the side. He doesn't seem to think that he's going to do that much damage as you drop to the ground.
Because I've taken some steps back.
Yeah.
Some steps back even. And I see this.
Yep.
Yeah, justice to be done.
As
the way
this
he wants it
happens,
to be done.
the kind of construct thing, just seeing something happen and seeing you drop to the ground, just swings through with the axe. That is with advantage because he's grappled. That's a natural 20. Bye-bye, Goldbrook. Because he only had 6 hit points left, and that's a D12, which I rolled a level on. That's 22 plus 4. Yeah, he's gone. That's his health points all over.
Holding the upper half
you
of
just
his
feel.
body.
Yeah, you just feel this moment as the body just gets very light all of a sudden, and you just hear as his legs hit the floor, and Dizzy's just kind of holding this axe midway just before you, brings it back and just puts it over his thing and just kind of.
I
crosses
flipped
his
the
arms.
goblin upside down so that I'm looking down into like his rib areas.
You just see a plethora of disgusting kind of greenish blood. There's a lot of organs that have just been ruptured by a very large swing by a great axe.
I look at the taxidermy around me. I look at the half the body and just kind of. This is the best day ever.
As this is happening, the Dragonborn, oh, for God's sake, Dizzy, could you not have used the door? It just starts going over. It takes a small broom from next to the desk and just starts sweeping the wood and the debris around the hole that the construct has made.
I nicely put half of his torso down. And I go and feed my only potion to dickhead over there.
Cool. Just because we want to see where this would have gone anyway, just for fun. Just roll a death saving throw from.
Are you sure?
Yeah, just because there's been a bit of time as this has happened. You will be healed.
7.
7, lovely. So you would have been going towards death slowly if it hadn't been for Rinwen coming over and healing you. So roll 2d4 plus 2.
I kind of just flop against the wall and slowly slide down.
You get 7. 9.
Oh, thank you.
9 of the heals
So
damage.
you come back to looking up at Rinwen, who's just got a vial in your mouth and takes it away. And you can see essentially this construct looking above you, just looking down, smiling with its arms crossed. You can see Brandis kind of shaking a little bit in the background. And you can just see the Dragonborn just sweeping in the far corner.
What? Oh.
And then as you roll over, you can see 2 halves of Gelbrook just laying there.
Can I roll the other way and puke?
Yep.
Thank you.
You just hurl all over Rinwen's legs.
I'm so sorry.
I try and like make the situation better by putting the 2 halves of the body together and like just folding the arms like over his like body so it kind of covers where the seam is a little.
It looks very badly done. It looks very badly done, but you managed to just kind of push the 2 bits together and kind of very rudimentary kind of weird art form that you're making. Anyway.
All better now.
Can I get up?
Yep.
Take my health potion out.
Yeah.
Give it to Rinwen.
Yeah.
And just look very thankful that I didn't have to kill him.
Lovely. So you receive a health potion from Punch.
Thank you.
Dragonborn, as he's just throws the broom down, I'll deal with it in the morning. Not to be rude, but does anyone mind if I go back to bed? I'm not feeling...
No, that's understandable.
I apologise if I didn't... Thank you for coming to my safety.
Would you like us to clean up for you?
Don't worry, D.I.Z.Z.Y will do it in about 10 minutes. He's good at that sort of thing.
Oh, this is D.I.Z.Z.Y.
Yeah, you look up... Well, actually, you're about the same size as him. You just look over at D.I.Z.Z.Y, who's about 6 foot. He just kind of looks at your beams and is like...
Thank you for splitting... for sorting our friend, goblin friend...
Not friend.
Not friend.
Not friend.
Don't know what his name is.
Don't
that one.
No.
Thank you, is what I'm trying to say.
Welcome.
Can I search Gelbrook's body,
You
please?
can indeed. Make an investigation check.
Oh, so you'll vomit at the 2 halves, but you're happy to look for his pockets.
Some things have got to be done. That is blah blah blah. That is 17.
17. You managed to find 200 gold hidden about his person. That seems to have... He has like little pouches, like 25, 50. There's about 75 in each boot. That seems to make him a little bit taller.
I go over to Brandis. You okay? Well, not okay, but you going to be?
Yeah.
Would anyone... I feel a bit awkward saying this, because, you know, you're... I'd like you to leave, but... Do you want payment or some sort of thing? Is this why you're still here?
Oh, no, sorry, it's just...
I've got a couple of
a big
items
moment
that
for
I'm
us.
willing to give away if you're going to...
What kind?
Depends. What sort of thing do are you in for? I have...
There's a lot of this place that I really like.
I have the gloves of missile snaring, which are quite good. You can kind of grab arrows out of thin air. So I have this... I have, as all good bazaars have, a selection of bags of holding. Happy to partake with one of them.
I'd very much like to buy a couple of healing potions from you. If that's
You'd
okay.
need to see Agathis in the morning.
Oh,
then,
yes, sorry.
I don't do
Sorry, I'm a
healing
little bit.
potions.
And this is kind of out of hours, a little.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting there. She'll be up in about 25 minutes.
Sorry, yes, we should probably let you rest up a bit.
It's fine. Yes.
I just very calmly stand up, go. A bag of holding and the gauntlets would be. Oh dear. And just quietly leave. And then do exactly the same on the other side of the wall.
As you leave, you can have one, but not the... Okay, Dizzy, go give him one of the bags. And Dizzy just kind of stomps over to the desk, reaches under, and pulls out this kind of very ill-looking, haversack type thing. It's got a couple of pockets around it. and just stomps out the hole in the wall. You have D.I.Z.Z.Y come up to you and just kind of thrusts this haversack in your hand. I will give you the complete stats of it later because it's an adapted version of the bag of holding. But
thank you.
He just looked at you. Have a nice day now.
Yes. I speak 6 languages and I've never heard an accent like that before. Well done.
Thank you kindly. And steps back around the side and through the hole.
I leave the building after. Thank you and stuff.
I decide to try and help out, and I grab the neckline of what's the goblin? What's his face? Gelbrook. And forgetting he's actually in 2 pieces, I just drag the body out.
You just drag the body through just leaving this red stain across the floor as both the Dragonborn and D.I.Z.Z.Y just kind of watch the body slowly go out the door, just shaking their head the entire time. At this point, whilst you're moving the body, D.I.Z.Z.Y just kind of turns around, sees a cupboard, and just moves it in front of the hole. Fixed, boss! What would you like to do, guys?
The second that Punch comes out the door,
Yes.
I'm just going to stand up, not grab her lapels, but kind of bring her towards my lapels and say, the deal was you get me out of Waterdeep, and you do it safely. Not you embroil us in what seems to be gangland revenge.
I've never been embroiled before.
I've never
It's exciting.
been involved in a punch-up in a pub, a tavern before, and I just saw a goblin that I was being almost rational with cut in two. I'd like a very brief and very detailed explanation. And I just want to look down at her because I can.
Can I suggest that we do this in the tavern?
Where the dead
The
body
tavern
is.
who was owned by a rather friendly chap.
Yeah, let's just say it's closed for the day.
Can I walk off and sit down, leaning up against the statue, like the painting?
I just feel like it's
And
better
you
than
just
being
kind
outside.
of go over and slump down by the side of the statue. There's kind of like a square plinth around the bottom of it where you just lean against.
I just feel like it's better than being outside and discussing it openly.
Yes. First things first. We need to let whoever's in charge know what's happened. Which would now be the blacksmith.
As you say, the blacksmith, you just hear this go as D.I.Z.Z.Y just comes around the thing. How do? Someone need the blacksmith?
Okay, he knows what's happened. Yes, we can go out to the tavern.
I don't...
Are
Are you the blacksmith as well?
Kind of.
Mr. Dizzy?
D.I.Z.Z.Y's fine.
Right.
Stands for the destructive, incredible, zealot, zonking unit. But unit's spelt wrong for some reason.
Okay.
D.I.Z.Z.Y for short.
Right, yes, Dizzy. The lovely man who owns the tavern no longer owns the tavern.
What?
Because
He's dead.
Ginger's dead? Oh dear. We got a bad voting system.
hey, I believe you're now in charge. Congratulations.
No.
Is he okay?
I think his disc drive is stuck.
I don't like that. I just move the things, and the main blacksmith is the man who would be in charge. I'm just kind of like the hitty thing, and I do the
You do that very well.
on the anvil, and I don't want, no, thank you. I'm gonna go lie down.
Good, that's fine. And I walk over to...
Could you direct us to the blacksmith?
Just points over at the constantly kind of like, you notice as you turn around now that there is a very warm glow, even though it's still quite dark, coming from this one building that seems to be in the shape of a kiln.
got a neon sign above it, so it's pointing saying...
Ladies and slaves here.
Blacksmith.
Fine. Quickly to the tavern, because I need
Also, you see
a drink.
you see D.I.Z.Z.Y just kind of very slowly marching that way.
Shall we go sort the blacksmith out first?
I think we need to do the blacksmith. I just head off after D.I.Z.Z.Y.
Comes in, you just sit here, as you get closer, you're going to ting, 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 as you come in and you can see this very crazed kind of gnomish figure that keeps bouncing as he jumps up onto the anvil, swings down, and then lands back down, jumps up, hits, and lands back down on his feet. And it's kind of really weird Frogger thing. It just turns around as he hears D.I.Z.Z.Y coming through. What did I tell you? There was a dead body, sir. And the gnome just turns around. Oh, for God's sake, no! Which one? Which one's dead? Give it. You.
Can I pop my head
Shiny
round?
face. Yes.
I'm very sorry to inform you that your tavern owner,
Ginger. Yes.
Yeah,
he has a name.
Ginger, sorry, he's passed away.
Okay, that's bad news for the economy. Good news for the blacksmith.
I can imagine. We've heard all about the council stuff.
You also have the remains of a goblin in your town square.
We avenged him.
No.
Ginger.
D.I.Z.Z.Y avenged him.
Ah, that's good. We're paying him for something. He's the village guard dog. He kind of walks around at night. He doesn't sleep. He just kind of walks around whilst we're sleeping and keeps an eye on things. What happened?
Ask Punch.
Which one of you are Punch?
Hi, it'd be me.
Ask the subtle one with the mask.
Hello? Subtle one with a mask, otherwise known as Punch. I'm Victoria. How may I help you?
Hi, Victoria. To be honest, barring a very stiff drink right now, there's probably not much you can do.
Well, how about explaining to me what's happened?
Short story, we all left Waterdeep in secrecy for our own reasons.
Can I just look up and go?
As you're doing, you just you stupid. As D.I.Z.Z.Y just chuckles and into his hand.
It seems that I made a mistake at some level, and one of my definitely ex-colleagues,
They are now.
Yeah, say if he's dead, he's quite an ex-colleague indeed.
they followed us to, let's just say, tidy some loose ends. Me being the main one. He's dead.
I tell you what, it's a bit late. Everyone's been rudely awoken, I imagine. Shall we go and drink to the memory of Ginger and discuss this a bit further over drinks? I'm sure it'd be something he wanted.
That would be very kind of you.
Fantastic. And as you all follow him out of the kiln building into the tavern, that is where we will be wrapping up for this evening. And we'll be picking back up for your next session.
Woo!
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We killed a gobble.
For your... You
Gobble wobble.
didn't hit it in XP, but I've been saying to Kirsty because of how we need to get to level 3 for certain things. This is the first milestone. You've left Waterdeep and you've made your way slowly towards where you need to be. So you each are going to receive 300 XP. And you're going to be level 2 next session.
Oh, right. Damn.
It's
I
going to
like
be
that.
fun.
That's exciting.
Thank you for listening to the Alignment Unknown podcast. The players were Adam Unwin as Brandis Thorn, Kirsty Mealing as Rinwen Thaslananel, and Kyra Leigh as Punch. DM'd by Steve Archer. All music was performed by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 licensing. For more information on this, go to creativecommons.org/licenses/by/3.0. All of these links can be found in the description of the episode. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.